Greetings people, I have another video for you. I want to talk to you about the art of detachment. Now a lot of people come to me or they're curious and they wonder how is it that you get to speak your mind and you don't care? And it's like, well, it's not that I don't care, it's just that I've learned to appreciate my own truth and what I have to say. Now the art of detachment is a difficult thing to do. It takes a bit of practice. But when you find yourself in conversations, and this is a message particularly for the empaths out there that pick up on people's feelings and emotions, and that kind of throws you off balance. And that's the difficult part there for people that are emotionally sensitive. But the art of detachment is it's a real gift once you've practiced it in your conversations, your relationships, and family and friends and what have you. And the trick is to just observe people. So as they speak to you about their personal issues, just observe them. Don't emotionally get connected to them and start trauma bonding. Now trauma bonding is when someone comes to you and says, oh, Derek, he's such an asshole, he did this, that and the other, and you're like, oh my God, I met someone just like him, and you both go into this little loop of like shitting on people that have done something to you, and you connect that way. Now that's the hook that you want to avoid, because detachment allows you your own freedom and sovereignty, and people won't like you for that, because it's something that they desire. They fear being alone or independent, and we all want to be independent and self-righteous and sovereign. So and that's the key to having freedom. So the freedom of your speech, the freedom of your behaviors, and the art of detachment is something that needs to be practiced, and it's a really effective to be able to discern and understand when people are coming from, without getting emotionally attached or hooked into what they're saying. And as you progress on that path of discernment, you'll come to realize that a lot of friends or family or people that you're mixing with are talking about things emotionally that you don't have an interest anymore. Now there's a real fine line with understanding where someone's needs are, and lending an ear and having compassion. But you have to discern when someone's pulling on your energy, and we call these people energy vampires. You may have heard this term. And they run around bleeding people of their energy by just talking about drama. And the art of detachment allows you to separate yourself. It's like setting a boundary around yourself so that you don't get caught up in people's dramas. And don't feel like, oh, guilty, which is the most common one for empaths. Guilty for not listening, or guilty for not turning up or showing up. Or, you know, someone might say, oh, you don't really take my calls anymore, you don't listen, you're just not here. And it's because you've given up on entering into the drama of these conversations and these trauma bonding situations. So the art of detachment is something that we should all work on. Another good example of one just recently is Cat Williams, the comedian online. And if you watch his interview with Joe Rogan, you know, Joe Rogan's quite an intense personality. He really gets in and deep and confronts people on their discussions and interrupts and all that kind of thing. But if you watch Cat Williams carefully, he doesn't connect emotionally. He just observes and then makes statements and gives his point of view. Which, what that does is it makes the other person take accountability for their feelings and what they're saying. And that's what you want to do, to find your inner peace and your freedom, because it means that you can go throughout, you know, about your business in the world and have conversations with people and recognize, you know, where people are coming from a lot sooner, so you don't waste your time. And we don't want to waste our time. And sometimes you get home, you're like, oh my God, I just got off a phone call from someone for 30 minutes and they just spoke, you know, talk, yabba, 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 and we got nowhere. And then they're like, okay, I'll see you later. And what they've done is they've just literally drained you of all your energy. They go away feeling great, and you end up just like, oh my God, I need to go have a shower and just sleep. So the art of detachment is, first of all, discerning what people are saying and just observing them. So think of yourself, or think of the person as like an object or a creature in the zoo, and you're just like observing them doing their thing. And once you pick up on where they're coming from and whether you have the time or the energy for that person, you can cut the conversation short and say, look, I've got to go, and you've got to go and do your thing. You've got to go about your business. And that is what will lead you to your own truth and your own freedom. And that's what people have said to me. It's like, well, how do you get away with saying what you're saying? It's like, well, because I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't care what your thoughts are and what I have to say. I know I'm a good person, and that's all that matters. And if it upsets you, then you've got something to deal with, right? Something to work on, because that's your issue and it's not mine. So, you know, it is a bumpy road to start with, because you kind of have to jump in and speak your mind and say what you feel, and it's going to cut away a lot of people real quick. But also know that those people will be replaced by others that don't mind your company and the peace that you're living in. So yeah, the art of detachment is quite an important part of finding your own inner truth and your own voice, and that's what leads you to your freedom and your independence. So, any questions on the art of detachment? Sing out.